Live here with Pete Mackey, baby. Count us down.
3, 2. You never say one in the business.
I didn't know that. I'm always yelling at people because they don't say one.
Yeah, you don't say one.
Or they don't say action.
You don't say action.
What the fuck?
Hey, I'm not the director here. It's this guy.
Well, listen, welcome to another episode of the Wedding Queue, making wedding decisions easier for you. Today we are joined by the amazing Mackey Photo. Pete,
good to see you, brother.
Thank you so much, man. Definitely. Thanks. We actually started, what's the word I'm looking for? Interviewing and bouncing an idea around with this show 2 years ago. And yeah, dude, you were very positive. You're very supportive. And one of the best interviews was yours.
Nice. I love it.
You were ready with, obviously I was starting out. I never had questions. It was just winging it. But yeah, man, it was very inspiring. So I'm so glad that we got to sit down
together.
This
Same, man.
Is awesome.
Always glad to chop it up.
So anyways, Pete Mackey, you know, Mackey Photos, it's in the name. We're talking about photography. So I got a few questions for him to help you couples out with making a decision and just knowing what you need, knowing what you want, and being confident in the process. So Mackey, I kind of have here to start us off. How can couples determine if a photographer's style truly aligns with their vision?
Got it. Okay. So a lot of couples come into weddings kind of not knowing their style or their vision yet. So I think first it's sort of like just start looking around, right? To see like what types of images are you connecting with? Are you connecting with like epic portraits that maybe feel a little bit posed? Are you more interested in those like in-between moments, you know? Because a lot of trends will happen where like you'll see blurry photos or you'll see, you know, and it's like a couple maybe like, ooh, I want that. But you don't want your whole day to be blurry photos. So really go kind of look through and see what style of photos you really connect with. What I find is most couples I speak with, although they may want a couple of those like on trend type of things, they really want all of the moments captured. They want those in-between moments. They want when they're like, just when them and their partner, like when they share that look across a room, like, oh, that's the look, like, you know, or mom wiping a tear. Like these are not posed moments. These are just things that happen specifically on their day. So I think for couples, just go look at wedding photos, maybe go and look at the venue you're looking at. And you're going to see a lot of different styles as you look through that feed and kind of hone in on what's connecting to you. And you might be surprised that you're like, I like that photo and that one and that one. And when you look, you're like, that's the same photographer. And then you're kind of like, that's the style I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, I love that perspective. I would have never thought of that. That's such, and it's free. It's on the internet. Just go on, you know, get lost on Instagram. You know, you do TikTok research and you're looking for a restaurant. Like I would have never thought of that. Made the connection. This is a style that I felt something. I'm going to see what that photographer
And they might not even have words. A lot of couples I speak with, they're like, I don't know, am I saying it right? Like they might not have the right terms to even describe what they're looking for, but they do. They get there. They start to explain it to you and you're like, totally. And a lot of times it's like, yes, you're describing exactly what we value in the photography, and we can show that. And sometimes they say something that you're like, I think you're probably a better fit, and we can refer them to somebody who is more in that style, you know, because ultimately it starts with that. You want to know that like they're going to love their photos from start to finish. So if there's an editing style that they like that you don't do, they may notice that and say, you seem great, but can you edit in a real like light and airy kind of washed out way? And I'll let them know like, well, no, hire somebody that's what their whole feed looks like.
That's what you want.
You'll be happy with them. So like you're better off, and they appreciate that. They're like, oh, thanks. We didn't know. We thought you just edited it.
Easier for you guys and easier for us, the vendor. You know what I mean? Like that. I love that you brought that up. The communication and transparency is it's everything. You know, knowing to read between the lines, but also picking up on that vibe. And when it comes to communication, next question I have here: what does strong communication from a photographer look like throughout the planning process? You know, is that something, just what does that look like? What should they be looking for? You know?
I think strong communication, like everybody has different communication styles. I'm very like relaxed and free flowing. So I tell my couples like, listen, you may book me a year and a half in advance and not hear from me for a little while because some automations will start coming. So you'll get an email about like, fill out this questionnaire or whatever, just to keep us on track. But I just let people know, like, if you need me anytime, like shoot me a call, shoot me a text, like the communication should be very free and very easy.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so it just keeps it like that. Whereas I think some people have like standard meetings where they say we meet at this time and this date and whatever. That'll come out in some automation and some emails, but for the most part, I just let couples know if you're booking far in advance, may not hear from me for a while.
Right.
I'm alive. Right. Shoot me a text, give me a call. I haven't run off.
I'm still here. I still have my camera.
Come knock on the door. I'm at the studio.
No, I love that style because my planning process is similar. You know what I mean? I just require a minimum of 3. Please, let's at least speak 3 times.
Yeah.
But you know, before we speak, I always like the scheduled calls.
Yeah.
You know, because I make myself available to everyone who already booked me.
Yes.
You know, and there's mornings where it's like they have a question, they have something, so I'm always getting back to them.
Yep.
But if someone hasn't hired me, like, it could be a bit harder to catch me. But
totally.
You know, like you said, it's whenever you want to talk, we're here.
Yeah, once you're booked, it's like you have my number, you have my email.
We're here. Yeah.
But beforehand, the Calendly link works a lot better because they're trying to slip in and you're playing phone tag. It's easier to like show up on my calendar and then I'm like, I have to talk to Erin today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, calendar has changed my life. I know this is, and I'm sure you know what? Yes, even when you're planning a wedding, definitely a calendar with your partner, whether it's walking spaces, meeting with vendors.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love when I can meet a couple.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and nothing against, you know,
one or the other.
Sometimes my time available, he's at work, she's at work.
Yep.
They're both, you know, so it could be complicated, but calendars definitely changed my life.
Yeah. And once you're married, by the way, the shared calendar, that changed my marriage in a lot of meaningful ways as well.
Dude, the calendar is the way.
Yeah, because there was a lot of times where you say like, hey, I told you about this. And she says, no, you didn't. And vice versa. I'm like, you didn't tell me about that. Now it's on the calendar and I can be like, look, you accepted it. Or, hey, I sent it. There's a little X next to you.
Yeah.
You didn't accept it yet.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah, calendars are, look into that as a couple.
Yeah.
So last thing I have here is, why is feeling comfortable and connected with your photographer just as important as their technical skill?
Yeah, so that's a good one, right? I think like there's going to be no lack of good photographer, like skilled photographers out there. I think there's just, honestly, there's an endless amount of them. Yeah. So really like what you need to kind of feel out is like, I always tell couples to do the vibe check, right? Yeah. So like, I think that is like one of the most important things. I think there's 3. It goes basically style, like cool, love the style. Great, let's get on a call. Let's do a Zoom. Let's meet. Then 2 is vibe check. It's like, okay, is this somebody I can have a relationship with literally for the next however long your wedding is coming up? And then afterward too, like you're going to do your album designs. You're going to eventually have a family and maybe have family photos. This is somebody that like, if you're in a similar area geographically, you may use them multiple times now in the future. So you want somebody who like you share values with, you feel like cares about you, listens to you, is flexible. Like those things are huge. So it's vibe. It's vibe check. And then after that, the third one is really like bang for your buck. You're going to invest a good amount of money. So is it going to be as valuable or more valuable than the money exchanged, right? That's it. Like you have 3 boxes to check. And if you could check all those 3, you'll be very happy and it'll be successful on both ends. You know?
I love I've been using that word a lot this year. Value and bandwidth.
Yeah.
Well, I'm lying. Bandwidth I started using last year, but it's so important.
Yeah.
The more values align.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, do we care for the same things? Can we? And that's really been helping me define what that vibe check is. Like a lot of people, either you feel it or you don't. Yeah. You know, it's that simple.
Yeah.
But it does come down to the value. Sometimes I'm on the phone with couples where in my mind I'm like, damn, we don't match. I don't know, this just sounds weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not getting anything. And then we hit a topic where we just hit it all and lock in. Yeah. And it feels great. So I definitely agree with you, man.
Yeah.
Values are it's huge.
I think so. And I think with like you, right, like being a personality and stuff, and same with me, I like to bring my personality to the business. Yeah. I think not like inhibiting that and just being yourself and speaking the way you want to speak. Like we're being professional and all that stuff, but being a real person. Like sometimes I'm talking to somebody and then like I'm also telling them about something personal I'm dealing with or something I'm going to go do after this meeting or like, whatever. And I think those pieces come in and they humanize everybody.
Yeah.
And then
makes it feel genuine as well.
The couples start to go like, oh, this is a real person. I'm not dealing with some like weird corporate entity.
Customer service line or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you have my cell phone, my email, and my physical studio address. Like, I'm all good. Like, you can
I think that's the title of the episode.
Yeah.
Man. We are human.
We're human. You can come say hi.
Oh, man. Well, this is great, Pete. I appreciate this, man.
Appreciate you.
I hope you couples found this useful. I just love it, dude. I'm always learning something new. I love content, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Pictures, like videos. Oh, yeah, this is huge for me.
Yeah.
Brother, thank you for sitting down with me, man.
Thank you.
You already know his information will be in the description, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys. Peace.